Hello, class. Welcome. We are kicking off week 7 of our course here within the fall semester. And before I get into week 7 in terms of what we're going to discuss, I want to remind everyone that as we are concluding week 6, you're probably viewing this on Sunday. That would be Sunday, October the 2nd, is to is that you should have wrapped up your week 6 assignment completion as well as taken the quiz which was due on Friday night. That would have been September the 30th. So just kind of want to do a brief review in terms of where we should be at within the course and then just kind of line it up parallel in terms of where we're headed. So as we complete week 6, we're going to go into week 7. Now, what I want to do is because week 7 and week 8 are tied in together to a certain degree. So, one of the things that I want to do here is I want to remind everyone what's due at the end of week 8. What is due at the end of week 8? What is due? And remember, for the last few weeks, I've actually been talking about this regarding the midterm project. And what you're going to be doing, if you, right here, and I just want to kind of pull this up, is you are going to be planning up the startup cost or working with startup cost to start up a bar. So, really, the focal point of this midterm project is the real cost of running a successful bar. Now, your main reference is this website. If you happen to look into the midterm project here, and it kind of breaks down profit and loss differentials when it comes to actually uh, running a bar establishment and how to manage operating cost. So, look at this scenario again, and students, class, I'm hoping that everybody's been looking at my instructional videos as they kick off every week. For the last 2 weeks now, I've been discussing this midterm project that is going to be due. That would be next Saturday, October the 15th at 11:59 p.m. So that is going to be the conclusion of week 8. And believe it or not, week 8 is our midterm period. We are coming up on being halfway done with this semester. So the time is really going by quick. As you can see, it is expediting itself. So go over this midterm project, and I recommend if you have not started working on this, start working on it right now throughout the course of this week. This is something that you may not want to wait until the last minute. And so what's going to culminate out of this, you're going to create an 8 to 10 slide PowerPoint presentation, and then I also have the bullet points in terms of the areas that you are going to address. So you're going to discuss startup costs, you're going to discuss licenses and permits, operating costs, and also the differentials between profits and loss, and you're going to give final words that will be your conclusion. Now, what I'm looking for on the bottom of this is I'm looking for everyone to embed an Excel spreadsheet into the PowerPoint slides when it comes to breaking down the profit and loss for your bar startup. So again, if you have any questions, if you want to discuss this midterm project, as I've been referencing this over the last few weeks, feel free to reach out to me if you happen to have any questions. So that is just kind of looking ahead in terms of what's going to be due at the conclusion of week 8. And this is really one of your main assessments for this course, this midterm project. So you definitely want to put forth your best work and your best effort when it comes to completing this project before you submit it over to me. So let's go back here, because one of the things now that I want to do is I want to get into what we're dealing with this week, and that happens to be week number 7. So we're talking about bar operation and cost. So this is the lecture that I provided for us that's written out. And I don't know if anyone's really familiar about, or familiar, should I say, regarding the show Bar Rescue. It happens to air on cable on the Paramount Network. I actually provided a 20-minute video which kind of gives some examples of overpouring and lack of measurements which really leads to a loss of revenue. So as you know, bar rescue. I forgot the name of the uh, gentleman. His last name. His first name is John. And he goes around the country and he offers his services for bars that happen to be struggling, that are close to closing their business or operation. So he cleans them up in terms of the financial, and also when it comes to the day-to-day operating aspects, he will come in and he will rehab. And if you happen to have watched any of the episodes of Bar Rescue, he comes across to be a little bit shrewd. He's a little harsh. He is kind of a tough love kind of thing. But these are owners that are looking to rehab their bar. They don't want to lose their business. Many of them, and the majority of them, I should say, happen to be independent owners. So look at this video first. I have the YouTube link right here. And then this kind of leads into what we're going to talk about. Chapter 7, text readings, okay, is centered around beverages and beverage control within the bar industry, okay, which also happens to be the hospitality industry as well. So read through this lecture that I provided for you. And there are some points that I actually pulled from the textbook, and I also kind of gave some examples as well too. For example, beverage cost percentages, and how to get the most for your sales. Also, different brands of bar establishments. This is also discussed within the chapter, and I also included within my lecture as well. And then I kind of talk about portion controls, okay, per serving per customer, okay, what kind of utensils are used in regards to that. And then also we have the law and ethics. And I kind of talk about this briefly regarding law and ethics, that of course every bar that's operating, regardless of what state that bar happens to be in, needs to have a license granted to operate as a bar establishment, a liquor license that's offered by the city council of where their jurisdiction or where they happen to reside in. And then I talk about the main culprit regarding the theft, and believe it or not, there happens to be different types of thefts when it comes to the restaurant industry. This is covered in your textbook, but then I also reference the points within the lecture as well. So read through the lecture, and then, as always, every week, I do provide a PowerPoint that is connected to the lecture that does give terms and definitions. So as you look at this instructional video, you read the lecture, and then also you can look at the PowerPoint to study terms and definitions. So your discussion questions will be due on Thursday night. That would be on Thursday night, October the 5th at 11:59 p.m. That will be when your discussion questions are due. We have these every week. So you reply to discussion threads, and these are just examples of beverage percentages, okay? There's some math that I kind of have you all, okay, work out and give me the answers. These are some drinks that I happen to come up with, okay? And believe it or not, yes, your professor does drink mildly, and two of my favorite drinks happen to be Long Island iced tea and Cosmos. I think a lot of you all are probably too young maybe to drink. All right, but that's something to kind of think about. But yet again, I don't know. Some of you all may be 21 years of age, and you may happen to drink a little, okay? But hopefully responsibly and in moderation. So discussion question 1, you're going to be figuring out beverage cost percentages. I do give you these 3 drinks to figure out, okay, the percentage. And then also in discussion question number 2, I talk about the different forms of theft. As I had just mentioned a little bit earlier, that happens to be referenced in the written lecture that I've provided for the week. And so this is kind of a reflective question here. I want you to give it an occurrence of at least 2 of the 3 forms of theft that you may have witnessed or experienced, being in the position of being a customer or even having knowledge of a coworker committing some of the different acts of theft. Again, I don't know. I think that everyone may be the age of 21. I think some of you may not be 21 yet. All right. So if you have not had any direct experience, okay, then maybe you may know a friend or associate or a family member that may have had experiences. So run this question by them, okay, and get their answers, and make sure that you reference that within your replies. Okay, so those are the discussion questions. Pardon me here. You may hear my cat in the background. Yes, you are very loud, buddy. Okay, yeah. Okay, so your week 7 assignment, all right? And what I'm going to do, okay, I'm just going to kind of take some time out briefly. I think some of you were probably confused when it came to the week 5 assignment, which was section 1 of your final paper. Now, I did not give a description, but however, though, the Dropbox I did include within the week. For section 2, before that comes up due, I'm going to give a description in terms of what you're supposed to do within the assignment, even though, class, keep in mind that I do have the assignment instructions right here for the final paper that is posted if you look at your table of contents. So for your assignment, okay, I want you to kind of we're going to talk about the law and the ethics pertaining to obtaining a liquor license. And what I want you to do is, many of you are in the state of Pennsylvania. I want you to do a comparison with the laws pertaining to the state of Pennsylvania and the state of Wisconsin. As you know, your professor here, I happen to live within the state of Wisconsin. I reside in Milwaukee. So look up laws pertaining to the state of Wisconsin, and then, of course, look up your laws pertaining to the state of Pennsylvania. Some of you may live in New York, and I believe you are in New York. Some of you, I believe, I have one or two students that may live in Michigan, which is right next door to Wisconsin, with Lake Michigan separating us. So I gave you the link to the Wisconsin site to look up laws. So do a Google search, okay, and pull up liquor laws within the state that you happen to reside in. And what I want you to do is I want you to give me 3 comparisons and 3 contrasts that apply to the alcohol laws in both states. So that's how you're going to do that assignment. So you probably may end up with maybe 1 or 2 paragraphs, maybe probably 2 paragraphs once you complete this assignment, and I expect it to be on Word document. Okay, everyone, so again, work on that midterm project, which is going to be due at the conclusion of week 8. This is going to wrap up what we're going to be engaging in week number 7. Make sure, of course, if you have not completed week 6 work, which is Sunday, if you happen to be looking at this video, is that you will do a wrap up on week 6. If you are behind, feel free to reach out to me, please, and contact me, okay? This is my information. These are my hours of availability. They have not changed. If you want to contact me by email, send me the email. I normally reply back within the same day. Or, however, if you want to reach me by phone, Monday through Saturday, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., and I do accept texts from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m., also Monday through Saturday. Okay, everyone, this is your Professor Javier Black, officially signing off, and enjoy your week.